And look how tight that was. Nick Pine less than a tenth behind Oogie, the two people we interviewed for the pre-race. And the top 10 separated by less than 7/10 of a second. Good qualifying from Gamefreaker, getting into 10th there at the bottom for the Renault, with Faunus, his teammate, not in the race this evening. But full wet race separating the men from the boys here, really earning their virtual paychecks. And with conditions like this, it's really Russian roulette out there. So I really hope they've done some wet running in practice, otherwise it's going to be one interesting start, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. So the 5 red lights, we have Oogie on pole, Pine in second, and the lights eventually go out. And Oogie gets a decent start by the looks of it. Pine bogged down a bit, and look at Louis on the left hand side, storming up into second with Greeny just behind. Look at all that spray. Midfield. Oh, and there's contact behind Gamefreaker, one of the Renaults, or the only Renault, sorry. And what the heck? Just saw Pine go straight on, taking a time trial style shortcut, and I believe Louis has just taken the lead of this race. So let's get these stats up just to see what happened. No retirements. And so Louis takes the lead of this race incredibly. And we got Pine. Pine must have got some sort of penalty, and we got a the other McLaren, Paudie, just hit the wall. Jamie losing it, causing Paudie to hit the wall there. Wow, what a Gamefreaker and Paudie almost certainly have wing damage, so their races may be up. So Beastleys, Oogie second, Greeny third, Sambamkid fourth, xJackLacey in fifth, Pine in sixth. Terrible start from the McLaren driver, and he must have got a penalty straight away from cutting that corner like that. So let's see what's going on down the grid. It's all very tightly packed at the moment, and Jamie under attack from MaxiLuca, who's made an absolutely brilliant start from the back of the grid, up to 8th already. He's going to try and attack Jamie around the outside, and will he succeed? Oh, and MaxiLuca does a bit of rallycross. Does he get the move done? No, Jamie holds the position, got the better turn in, carried a bit too much speed, MaxiLuca, into that corner. So back up to the front. Keep your beast. I mean, his season just gets better and better. If he can pull this off. Fastest lap, although that's irrelevant, first lap, and now Greeny getting, look at that spray. Wouldn't see that in the M25. So Greeny in fourth. So behind, I think we've got xJackLacey, who lost the place start, and now Jamie dives down the inside of. Oh no, wait. This is. That's strange. I can't see. It says Nick Pine's leading, but that's obviously not correct. So I think because of what he did, I think it sort of messed up the timing. So Pine is not leading. I know that. There you go, it's corrected itself. So Pine under attack from Jamie, he got past, and MaxiLuca passed him as well. So Jamie's up to 6th, MaxiLuca up to 7th. So let's have a look at the position changes. MaxiLuca made up 9 positions at the start. Louis made up 3 at the front from 4th. And TUSZMUSZ has just been overtaken by Iran for 10th place. Louis got a 1.2 second lead. Oogie, he made a decent start, but maybe distracted by what was going on with Pine, and that's why he lost the place. Struggled to chase down Louis at the previous race. Greeny still in third, and now the pride of xJackLacey getting a little close to Sambamkid. Doesn't want to get too close. Wing damage pretty lethal at this track. Judging by the intervals, it looks like Gamer and Jake were also caught up with what was going on with Gamefreaker, so they had to make first lap wing changes. So Gamer's chances of any points in this race appear to be over. So the main battle of the moment, Louis sitting in the fast lap on lap as we enter lap 3. So the main battle appears to be between xJackLacey and Jamie, who's now beginning to settle in. The Rainmeister. xJackLacey going defensive as they enter what, for all intents and purposes, is turn 1, but it's actually turn 2. And Jamie squeezed a little bit by Jake, but he's going to have the inside for turn 3 as long as he can hold it. And xJackLacey's going to have a really hard job on his hands to regain the place because he's offline, no grip out there. And up to 5th goes Jamie. But Jamie gets a poor exit, and that's going to allow xJackLacey to come back at him. MaxiLuca just keeping a watching brief behind, probably hoping for some sort of incident ahead. I mean, these are monsoon conditions. This is more like something you see at Malaysia, not Sochi, for this particular race. And we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. GameFreaker has retired. I think that's more, he spun it in Sector 1. I think that's more, I think he called it a day after that. So the top 3 starting to get a bit away from Sambamkid, who I think is probably going to be under pressure from Jamie and xJackLacey and MaxiLuca before long. Nick Pine fell from 2nd to 8th. He'll be really ruining that start. Quite what happened where he went straight over the turn 2, I'm not sure. It was like he was going at full speed. Louis setting another fastest lap. He's now got a 2.3 second advantage to Ugi. Louis showing some amazing pace up front. And, according to team radio, xJackLacey's been informed that he's just received a 3-second penalty. So that's not going to help his course. And MaxiLuca diving down the inside. Up to 6th now. That's the 10th place he's gained in this race. Started 16th, don't forget. Took advantage of some of the carnage at the start. And now he's really in with a shout, maybe outside chance of a podium. A long way to go yet. Lap 4 of the Russian Grand Prix PSGL F1. And xJackLacey taking a bit of an interesting line into that corner. Sambamkid is keeping Greeny honest, has to be said. Jake has left the session as well, so that will count as a retirement. But given how the conditions are, I don't think that will be the last time. And Ugi's left the session. A disconnect for Ugi. Well, that's a shame for Ugi. Hopefully he can get back into the game. Greeny up to 2nd. Now Sambamkid passing one, ghosted Haas, but he'll be a bit spooked also by the other Haas behind him with Jamie, who's now on the verge of a podium. Quite a train of cars. Iran's still in 10th. Josh in 9th. TUSZMUSZ up to 11th. Ugi's rejoined. Bit of comment from the Renault driver GameFreaker, who says the crash might have been his fault but not sure. Have to look at the footage afterwards. Sambamkid now under attack from Jamie. Yellow's in sector 3. Could be another retiring car perhaps. So Sambamkid, let's see what sort of line he can take. Looks a decent enough line. It's a shame for Ugi what happened. He's dropped all the way down. He's dropped down to 13th. I don't know if the AI car pitted himself. But he's in 13th, so he's going to have to find his way back through the field. So that's a real shame for him. He's running well in 2nd. Now Louis now has a 6-second advantage to Greeny. I mean that is quite a gap after 5 laps. So let's see if Jamie can close in a little bit more. He's got the slipstream, no DRS in the wet of course. Greeny not exactly safe in 2nd at the moment. He's not getting away from Sambamkid as I thought he might. Perhaps in the dry it might have been a different story. Sambamkid holding his line, but Jamie certainly looking the quicker at the moment. MaxiLuca now up to 5th thanks to Ugi's problems. So I'm going to keep on this battle, because I think we may see Jamie who got the better run out of that corner. Let's see then. Let's go on board with Jamie. MaxiLuca didn't get the best exit, so he's dropped back a little bit. While Louis may have a commanding advantage in terms of the time, he's still going to have to be mindful of the penalties. Easy to accumulate them, so that lead may mean nothing if he gets penalties, but given the way we've seen him drive so far, I doubt he has any penalties at the moment. Sambamkid doing a decent job keeping Jamie behind him, and if anything they're getting closer to Ugi, sorry not Ugi, I meant Greenie. Ugi's lost connection again, so sadly that could be the end for him. And, yeah, as confirmed, Nick Pine got a 20-second penalty for that first corner cut, which I'm sure wasn't on purpose, but I mean that pretty much kills his race. It's practically a pit stop in penalties. So the battle for second place is beginning to heat up. We've got the Ferrari Greenie, Mercedes Sambamkid, Jamie in 4th in the Haas, MaxiLuca under attack now. Look at this train for second now. Battle for second could go all the way to the end. Ugi's rejoined, but for all intents and purposes, that could be that for his race. So, Greenie keeping a slight gap ahead, but again Sambamkid got a good exit out of the final corner. Yellow's in sector 3, but nothing on towards. Well, MaxiLuca running wide, manages to keep it on. But yeah, it looks like, as Big C said in the chat, that Ugi can't take control of his car. So TUSZMUSZ is retired. Yeah, look at that. TUSZMUSZ out of the race. He's lost it. That's I believe that's just coming out of turn into turn 3 and 4. So TUSZMUSZ, the Red Bull, out of the race. So QBRB's back out front. Quite a long distance away from this titanic train of 5 cars at least. Nick Pine a little bit further back, with Josh challenging him for 7th place. Iran in 9th now. Sauber in the Red Bull from the back. Hasn't made the progress that MaxiLuca has, of course. But 10th place, nonetheless, he's in the points. So Louis just going about his business. So at the moment it may come down to more individual mistakes to decide these podium positions, because they seem to be fairly evenly matched. Sambamkid struggling a little bit with the car out of that corner. Will that allow Jamie to get a little bit closer? Yeah, I think he'll be keen to clear this Mercedes so he can get after Greenie if he can. MaxiLuca trying to get out the spray just for a second. A little look at Jamie, but he's never going to go for a move there. Jamie getting a slightly not the best line out of there. Neither did Sambamkid, so will Jamie maybe consider a dive down the inside? Be a risky move. Greenie might be slightly frustrated despite all the battling going on behind him. He just can't seem to get away from this lot. So if he makes any sort of mistake, he could be losing 4 places at the very least. no DRS, it is mostly down to the slipstream and getting a good exit out of the corner. So turn 10 here into what would be normally the second DRS zone, very critical to that. Sambamkid maybe getting the slipstream from Greeny, so that's maybe allowing him to get ahead. So this will be a one-stop race. They will definitely have to stop once at some stage, and some people earlier than others, perhaps to get an undercut. Undercut not as strong in the wet conditions, but it is still a small factor. Now Greeny struggling a little bit with the back end we just saw, and that's allowed Sambamkid to get a little bit closer to the Ferrari driver. Started third on the grid. And now look at this, they're very close now. Could we see a bit of free wide action? And look at Jamie having a little look. Sambamkid as well. MaxiLuca just sort of biding his time, which is probably the wise thing to do in these conditions. Oh, xJackLacey, a nice Colin McRae style turn there. He lost a bit of time as a result. And now very close. Greeny not getting the best run in turn 3. Very tricky in these conditions. Goes for the switchback. And now he's alongside Greeny. Greeny squeezes him a little bit. Sambamkid goes for the inside. And Greeny holds it around the outside to maintain second for now. But look how close these guys are. 5 cars battling for the right to be on the podium. And one person who if we could see him, he'd be smiling with absolute delight. Nearly 10-second lead now. Greeny is the cork in the bottle here. If any of these guys can get past Greeny, they might be able to chase Louis down, but by that stage it may be too late. And now xJackLacey now having a little look at MaxiLuca for 5th place. xJackLacey at the back of this queue, the reigning F1 champion. He would love to get his first podium of the season here, to kind of get his season on track. He scored 3 points at the from the open 2, and now down the inside goes Jamie at the penultimate corner. Well, sorry, the second to penultimate corner. And now MaxiLuca is going to have a look again. So Sambamkid made a mistake just after sector 2, and now we've got 2 right alongside, and look how close they are. Oh, they touch. Wheel goes up. The hand goes up as well. MaxiLuca dives down the inside, squeezed it off. But MaxiLuca's going to have the better traction as long as he can get it back online, and he does. And I think Sambamkid beginning to struggle, perhaps with the wear on those wets. Sambamkid has another look back to try and retake the place, but doesn't. .2 lead between the top 2. Now that Jamie has got past Sambamkid, now can he go after Greeny? And perhaps more interesting still, if he can pass him, can he use the wet weather pace we know he has to catch Louis? It's going to be very difficult to do that, such as the pace that Louis has shown today. Sambamkid was running in 3rd, now he's dropped to 5th, and now he could be about to lose another place. This is where Sambamkid made the mistake last time, which cost him so dearly. And now xJackLacey goes for a dive. Sambamkid having to go deep to defend it. That's going to compromise his exit a little bit. xJackLacey couldn't take advantage. Sambamkid again struggling as we head into turn 18, the last corner for the start of lap 11 for these 2. xJackLacey gets the slipstream but doesn't really have the toe or the straight line speed to get past. Jamie not catching Greeny as quickly as I thought he would be. Louis just solidly going about his business. So these are the fastest laps so far. Oogie had the fastest lap before he lost connection. 150. Now Paudie sets fast over 151.692. Now I was saying that Jamie wasn't catching up, but Greeny's made a mistake somewhere, because now he's right on the back of the Ferrari driver. And as one Ferrari gets attacked, attacked, yes. The other Ferrari, XJackLacey, is on the attack. Sambamkid. Lost my train of thought there for a second. So that was safe from Greeny, just giving QBLB's now 10.5 second advantage. Sambamkid managed to defend the position. Yes, he did. So Greeny did a good job holding Sambamkid back, but I think he's going to have a tougher task on his hands to hold these two now that Sambamkid is dropped from this battle. Some in the chat saying a zero stop is possible, but we shall see. All the sliding around will not help their tyre life. So let's see. Jamie gets an okay exit. I think it was about even. Pine into the pits. Lap 12. So that's an early stop if he's going to be trying to have one stop or two sets. The rain is still bucketing down, so I don't think we're going to see inters anytime soon, if at all. Look at Greeny not getting good speed around turn 3, and Jamie almost caught out by the lack of speed of the Ferrari driver. Moves to the outside. MaxiLuca, as he has been for often in the races, and Jamie dives down the inside, and a little bit of wing is chipped off, and MaxiLuca, ever the poacher, has taken second. Well, that was an opportunistic move there. MaxiLuca goes from 4th to 2nd in the space of 2 corners. He waited for his opportunity, and he got it. But I don't think Jamie's gonna give up on it that easy. I saw a bit of wing chip off, and I believe it was the Ferrari Greeny. I think he lost a bit of his end plate on the front wing, front left part of the wing, I believe. To tell. Yeah, on the right hand side you can see a little bit of the wing got chipped off as Jamie went around the outside. So MaxiLuca second. Now apparently Nick Pine is on the inters. He is. Looks pretty wet still. And it looks like Oogie has rejoined, so that's good news. His car's not ghosting anymore. So now, two men who have won the 2 races so far in PSGL now engaged in combat. MaxiLuca versus Jamie for 2nd place. And this is more battling, which is just all the time helping Louis get further away. He's now at 11.4 second lead. MaxiLuca again struggling for traction, just as Greeny did the previous lap. Unlike Greeny, manages to hold it, not allowing Jamie any space on the outside or the inside as we head into turn 5. Sambamkid has got past, and so is XJackLacey. Yeah, that wing damage really affecting Greeny now. And XJackLacey letting Greeny back through. So he must have done a cut by mistake. What on earth is Greeny doing? Okay. I assume that was lag, because if it wasn't, he just brake checked the Force India driver, Josh. I'm not sure what the Ferraris are playing at here. What a bizarre incident. I think if that wasn't lag, there'll be some words about that one. But let's go back to the front. Louis no such problems for him. Lap 13 he just completes, not unlucky for him. Comfortable 11.4 advantage. So into the pits comes Greeny. I don't know if Josh broke part of his wing. It didn't look like he did. He was lucky if he didn't. So goes on to the wets, lap 14. He'll be running to the end. It's a wing change as well. Well, he had a slight contact with Jamie. I think it was purely accidental. I don't think Jamie. There was no malice in the move. He had to go for the move. Greeny left the space, and I think Greeny just sort of slipped into the side of him. Shortbread and Joel get promoted, and I think Greeny's going to come back out in 10th place. No, Pines pass him and Oogie. So we've got Pine and Oogie. The two people who started on the front row of the grid are now battling for 10th. I mean, now that sums up the massive reversals in fortune we've seen in this race. Iran up to 7th, so he's having a solid race to make up for what happened in China where he was just sort of crashed off the road. Looks like Oogie has passed Pine. Greeny right behind him. Kind of wish I could stay with that battle. We'll go back to it because I don't think there's going to be a pass in that area. So a battle for the final championship point. We saw a ferocious battle for the final point last week. Green on fresher wet tyres, and I think those inters are not working for Pine. I think Pine, it was worth a gamble, but you can see from the spray and the standing water it's nowhere near ready for inters. So they head into the end of sector 2. So Oogie holding the final championship point, and there is Gamer, who had a very unfortunate start by the looks of it. So let's go back to the front. MaxiLuca doing a good job holding off Jamie, who hasn't showed perhaps quite the level of wet weather pace we've seen from him before. Has a good look though, going into turn 4. It's putting MaxiLuca under all sorts of pressure. So Sambamkid back up to 4th. Well, he had a few difficult laps earlier where he was overtaken by 3 cars in the space of a lap. So I think he'll be seeing good please for that. And now Josh and Iran are beginning to make their moves towards the top 4. So don't rule these guys out yet. I think there's a... These guys have the pit. I don't think these battles are over. Now, judging by the intervals, I think if Louis has to pit, he would come out behind Iran in terms of the track position. If he were to pit now, and he'd be plenty of space ahead of Shortbread, who's a further 20 seconds behind Iran. So I think if Louis is thinking about a pit stop, if at all, he's got a good gap to slot himself into right now. I hope everyone's been enjoying this race. It was a really dramatic start to this race. MaxiLuca sets the fastest lap despite being under pressure from Jamie. But it was a dramatic start. We saw Pine, for some reason, bottle the start, just went bogged down, and then in an attempt to make it up, took turn 2 far too quickly and cut the corner and got 20 seconds of penalties for it. Pure accident, but it was just a mistake on his part, and his sort of difficult start to the season has continued at Russia tonight. And McLaren in general, because Paudie was caught up in an incident as Gamefreaker lost control of the car right at the start. But Louis really, he can pick his pit stop. You know, he can wait for everyone else to pit and then just pit. That's the advantage he has right now. Assuming he's, you know, kept his tyres nice and in good condition, he can just wait. I'm sure most of the field will have to pit. Some may be confident just to take them to the end. They do go a long way. They'll go, you know, before they completely fall apart. I've seen them go 85–90% before they blow up. So tyre wear is relatively kind here if you don't slide the car around too much in the wet, so it is possible, but it is risky. And Louis sets the fastest lap of the race at 1:51.373. But the gap has dropped a little bit. It was 11.3. Oh no, it's gone back up to 11. So I'm talking out my arse. Jamie unable to get past MaxiLuca. MaxiLuca showing good wet weather pace to keep someone like Jamie behind. So let's go around the field a bit. Shortbread now being chased down by XJackLacey still. Sambamkid rather. Josh in 6th. He's had a very solid start to the season actually, Josh. He was 6th in the first 2 races and he's 6th again as it stands with Aaron just behind. Shortbread in 8th, Joel in 9th, although he's about to be attacked by Game, and Nick Pine has retired from the race. And it looks like there's some Nick and Oogie switching to Inter, so I have to say the rain does look like it's a little bit less in terms of its intensity. Is it actually time for Inter? So keep an eye on Oogie's lap times. If we suddenly see him flashing up fastest laps on that, we'll know for sure. Yellow's in sector 1. Don't know who that is. Oh, that's probably Pine's car retiring. Yeah. So Greeny now having had wing damage, it's really curtailed his chance of getting a podium. Now attacking Joel, the other Sauber driver. Both Saubers in the points at the moment, so looking on for a good result. As nothing happens here. Jamie sets the fast lap rule 1:51.323. Joel goes defensive, goes a bit too deep, switched back by Greeny, but Joel's going to have the inside. Well held by the experienced Sauber driver. Would the camera switch? No? Okay. And Joel forced, I thought he'd gone into the pits, he disappeared for a second, but he was forced off and Greeny eventually takes the place. But no, Greeny loses it on the straight, so Joel's back through. Greeny having a torrid time the last few laps. Joel switches to the right to go defensive. Greeny later on the brakes. Joel, not the best. That was a terrible line through turn 2, and that should make it fairly simple for Greeny. Joel will try to hang it out on the outside, but he's not going to have the traction. Greeny on much fresher wet tyres, of course, because you have to pit for a new wing. Joel running wide again, trying to get back through. He goes for a dive down the inside, but Greeny still has the better traction. That little bout's probably at an end, so Greeny doesn't make any mistakes. Oh, look at that. Joel, his tyres must be shot. He hasn't made a pit stop yet. See, most of the lower orders made a stop, most of the upper field hasn't. QBLB sets another fast lap, so his tyres are fine, so it could be that these drivers are going to the end. And now Aaron, triple world champion, making a move on Josh. And he moves up to 6th with a fantastic move. Glad we caught that. Into turn 17 and then on to 18. Josh is going to try and fight back if he can. Aaron having to go a bit defensive. and Josh backs off, allowing Aaron to maintain the place, but Aaron rolling back the proverbial years there. Fantastic move, caught Josh snapping a little bit, and Shortbread comes into the pits to switch to the Inter tyres. But Oogie's been on those Inter tyres for a while. Oh, looks like Shortbread's having a wing change. Indeed he is. So it's been a miserable return to the F1 grid for Shortbread today, but I'm sure with the talent he has, he will see better days, perhaps as early as Spain next week. So let's see, any battles going on here. MaxiLuca still holding off Jamie in superb fashion. It's going to come down to an individual mistake, that battle. XJackLacey can't quite catch Sambamkid. Fourth. Aaron getting away from Josh. Greeny, as we saw, bumper cars. And now gamerdabest. Great save there. But he's now moved. He's got fresh wets just like Greeny did. He's now going to go for a move on Joel, perhaps very shortly, but that was a good save. Well, MaxiLuca, certainly a contender for driver of the day, having gained 14 places from the start to see himself in second place and holding off one of the best wet weather drivers on the grid at the moment. So if he finishes there, it's been a superb day's work for MaxiLuca and a brilliant return to form after what happened last week. It looks like there's Paudie in 11th, still not out of the fight for a point. Oh, a little nudge behind by Gamer. Greeny sets the fastest lap, 1:50.076. So that's a storming lap from Greeny, as he's 25 seconds behind Josh, so I think 8 is going to be the best he's going to get today, as there's any late pit stops. Now can Gamer move up from 10th to 9th, just to salvage some consolation after what happened at the start. Josh taking a wide line, Joel taking a line rather. Joel running wide, out of 4, not the first time we've seen him do that. Is Gamer going to think about a dive down the inside? He has a little look, isn't really committed to it. I think that was a wise decision. So Louis, 10.8 second advantage out front, on for his 3rd podium in a row, but his first ever F1 win at this level. He was previously in F1 back in F1 2016. Spoke to him previously, and he probably felt that it was a bit too early for him to be in F1. We've got yellow flags in sector 1. Not sure if that's affected. And now Gamer challenging Joel on the outside, and Shortbread retires from the race. I think there was contact between Joel and gamerdabest. We didn't see it thanks to the Russian camera crews being on their vodka, but Joel drops out of the points. Paudie back up to 10th. So I don't know if Gamer made contact or Joel lost it. We didn't see it, unfortunately. Sorry about that. This battle for second rages on, lap 21. Assuming QPRBs can keep his tyres going, which seems like he's comfortable in doing so. We're going to see a new PSGL F1 winner. Let's go down the field then. QPRB's first, MaxiLuca second, Jamie third, Sambamkid fourth, XJackLacey fifth, Aaron sixth, Josh 7th, Greeny 8th, gamerdabest 9th, and Paudie makes up the top 10. We have 4 retirements. Shake is a retirement in effect as well because he left the session. Oogie had disconnect problems, he was running in a very good second. I think he would have been up there. Perhaps could have affected that MaxiLucaGT5 battle. He's running in 12th. He's made a switch to the Inters, it's not really worked out for him. I think it might be ready for Inters by the end, but it's too little too late at that point. So really, the main battles seem to be between Jamie and MaxiLuca. MaxiLuca had the advantage in this respect, in that he doesn't have to run him dirty yet. Every time Jamie gets a little closer, it seems to unbalance the car a little bit. He's less than a second behind, but he may have to settle for third place. It would still be a superb result for him. It puts him clear second place in the championship. MaxiLuca would move up to third in the stands, but the clear result today is that QPR Beasts would be on 40 championship points after 3 races. If he gets the maximum 16 today, his lead's dropped under 10 seconds though, so perhaps he's tyre saving, he can afford to do so. Jamie's dropped to the second behind. XJackLacey attempting to catch Sambamkid. And something's happened to Josh. Josh has pitted for the Inters. Maybe he had no tyres left, but Gasolab has promoted Greenie up to 7th. We'll see if that... I'm going to watch the intervals between those two because we'll see if the later interval has been good. According to certain sources, these two both have a 3-second penalty, so the battle is still on. In terms, any mistakes are made now, it's going to cost them. Now the lead's dropped to 9.3 seconds. Is the tyre life of QPR becoming a bit of an issue? But now that MaxiLuca is not having to defend against QPR, Jamie, sorry. Now in clean air, he's now able to get after. This is impressive for MaxiLuca, the fact that he's managed to hold off Jamie like this and won the battle in a wet race like this. We've seen Jamie perform so well in the past, many times. So XJackLacey's close to less than a second behind Sambamkid now. Neither Ugi or Josh on the Inters have set the fastest lap, so it still isn't really ready for Inters by the looks of it. So lap 23 of this PSGL F1 Russian Grand Prix. Louis took the lead at the start of the race, avoiding some of the strange events we saw. A bit of carnage in the midfield. Oh, and XJackLacey nearly getting an invite to the wall on the right hand side. He didn't want, but good save from the Ferrari driver. It's on course for his best result of the season so far. Fifth place today for Ferrari. Did say way back at the pre-season interview with Bahrain that defending the championship would be very difficult, but he just didn't want to embarrass himself, and I don't think he's embarrassed himself in this drive today. I think it's a solid 5th if he gets to the end. So MaxiLuca just keeping... He's got to keep pushing because Jamie's not going to let up to the end. He's going to try and get a lead, and the lead is sort of fluctuating between 10 to 9.5 seconds each lap. We've only got a few laps to go now, lap 24. Tell you what, this race has gone a lot quicker than the awful race I had in F4 yesterday, I tell you, in the similar conditions. That was the most boring race I've ever had. So here in 6th. Greenie a long way behind. Josh 3.2 seconds behind, but he's not really catching at the rate he'd need to be to make these Inters work. Joel was running in the points and probably had a fair chance, but unfortunately that collision again, we might see that in the stewards later. It may have been just a racing incident. Fortunately the camera work by the director wasn't great, so I saw nothing. So we have 12 runners at the moment. Penny for the thoughts of this man, Oogie. Those disconnects really costing him today. He had a superb qualifying, pole position. Those disconnects dropped him way down the order. And that's where he's ended up now, outside the points. Having got 2 podiums in the opening 2 rounds, he's going to be pointless today. So, a very sad turn of events for him. xJackLacey still unable to get past the Mercedes Sambamkid. I think Sambamkid's had a pretty solid race. You know, he had a few moments where he was running higher than this and he lost a few places, but he sort of got his act together not long after, and he's now on course for a very good 4th place, which would equal Mercedes' best result of the season, with gamerdabest having got 2 4th places at the opening 2 rounds. So Jamie still chasing down, 3 to go. It's just hoping against hope that Maxi will make some sort of calamitous mistake. Maybe a last minute Sebastian Vettel style mistake, a Kando in 2011, to get this position. He's a bit closer this lap now, he's close to less than half a second, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe MaxiLuca was suddenly getting away from Jamie. Maybe Jamie was just saving his tyres a little bit for one final assault. The man up front, he won't care about any of that. He's got 3 to go, well, less than 3 to go now, as he goes to the end of sector 2. But this will be an overwhelming moment for Louis, if he can just hold on. MaxiLuca going to the right. Trying to cut the slipstream a little bit. Jamie, it'd be interesting if this was a dry race. There'd be DRS available, of course, but it just seems very difficult for them to get close. They may have very similar setups in terms of the wing. That could be a factor too. So xJackLacey and Gamer, incidentally, the only 2 drivers in the current top 10 who didn't gain any positions overall during the race. MaxiLuca, I would probably say if he finishes 2nd, hell, if he finishes 3rd, he's probably driver of the day anyway. He had a wretched qualifying session. I believe he invalidated both of his lap runs. He started in 16th. Obviously there was a fair bit of shenanigans going on at the start, which helped him, but he really stormed through the field. Then critical move was when Greeny made a mistake, allowing Jamie to get a move on the outside. They had a slight bit of contact, and then Jamie got a slightly deeper line. That allowed MaxiLuca to dive down both of them, and he's held 2nd place ever since. Penultimate lap of the Russian Grand Prix. Louis still leads, MaxiLuca 2nd still, Jamie 3rd. Sambamkid 4th, and it looks like xJackLacey has settled for 5th. He's dropped back. Iran on course for what I believe would be Sauber's first points of the season, in a very solid 6th place. Greeny in 7th, Josh in 8th, gamerdabest in 9th. Whoa, and a bit of a slide round turn 3. Paudie on course for points today. Got points in Bahrain, none in China, but 1 point is probably not what he would have wanted. Jamie gets very close in sector 3 once again. What is Jamie going to do on the final lap? QPR goes to start his final lap at Sochi, on course for his first ever PSGL F1 victory. He was moving the car around a bit there. I don't know if you realised it was final lap. And now Jamie is the closest he's been in a long time. Are we going to see Jamie going for a final attack? On board with Jamie now. MaxiLuca again just managing to accelerate away. Maybe running slightly lower wing. MaxiLuca negotiates turn 2. MaxiLuca going well offline. Bit of a risk doing that. There's not as much grip there. And MaxiLuca Nearly going wide, but manages to hold it. Jamie gets a better run into 5. It's not close enough. This is the only real battle left on track. QBRB's entering sector 2 now. And MaxiLuca runs wide. And that allows Jamie to get a bit close, but that's not really an overtaking position. MaxiLuca's got a problem. He's clearly got a problem. Have the tyres finally given up on him. And now Jamie is going to have a run at last. They're side by side. MaxiLuca again has the acceleration advantage. And he holds it off. That was Jamie's chance. But now QPRBs, 2 second places. Bahrain, China rounds the final corner, but today it's victory at Sochi. Louis wins the Russian Grand Prix to take a commanding lead of the championship with a quarter of it gone. What a display from the Toro Rosso driver. And Jamie finished second with penalties. MaxiLuca in third. Oh, MaxiLuca dropped to 4th. Sambamkid gets podium for Mercedes. MaxiLuca must have got a huge penalty in the last few laps. Iran moves up to 5th, XJackLacey 6th. So, brilliant result for Iran. So MaxiLuca got a penalty on the last corner. Must have been a huge one. But it still underlines a good drive from him. That penalty might be removed later, we will see. Greeny finishes 7th. Maybe he'll be slightly disappointed by that because he was running for the podium most of the race. Josh with a solid 8th place. GamingAlimonda 9th where he started. And Paudie got 9th in the end thanks to penalties. How many penalties does Gamer have? Will Joel snatch the final point? Probably not. He was quite a distance behind. So there it is then, celebrating his victory in this rain-drenched race, which in some ways for Lewis was decided straight away on the first lap. But this is going to be sweet. There may be some vodka in that, mixed in with that champagne, but this will be a sweet moment for Lewis. He's won in F4 and F3, F3 I believe, but he's celebrating now his first F1 victory in PSGL, and he now takes quite a lead in the championship, with Jamie his nearest competitor and MaxiLuca slightly behind, and Oogie not scoring today. So all in all, it's been a perfect day for him, and we will hear from him shortly. So there's your final result. So MaxiLuca getting another penalty late on, and Sambamkid closed the gap considerably to those two right at the end. So Louis takes the victory at Russia. Jamie 2nd, Sambamkid 3rd, MaxiLuca 4th, Iran 5th for Sauber, XJackLacey in 6th, 7th in the other Ferrari is Greeny. Josh takes 8th for Force India, Paudie, and the Mercedes of GamingAlimonda round up the top 10. The other two finishers were Oogie, very unlucky today, and Joel 12th, and then we had these retirements here. So QBRB is now on 40 points, so he now has an 8-point advantage at the top of the standings, I believe, because Jamie will be on 32 points, having scored 2nd place today.